Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted
views. To you, the Buddha.
Geshe, I will be quiet if you want to, if you are reciting the prayers.
Me just switched off. Me muted.
Oh.
I'm muted, yes.
Okay. Taking refuge in generating bodhicitta. No. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is freed of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead hearers seeking pacification to complete peace, which through the knowledge of paths causes those helping migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subduers expound a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Shugata, and protector, to you I make prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you, the Buddha, I make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings.
I'll recite this I'll recite this and all of us join. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato hyavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato hyavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato hyavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha.
All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful elaboration, free, clear light, and non-composite, such as the nectar-like Dharma I have discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I will retire into the woods. Beyond utterance, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the 3 times, I pay obeisance. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are of the nature of suffering. All phenomena are of the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma. Likewise, the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not wash the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. Instructions on parting from the four attachments. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. So
we will recite, next we'll recite the Heart Sutra mantra. 5 times. Eyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhisvatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate 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 Bodhisvaha. Okay. Yesterday we talked about the 4 essentials to establish emptiness, and today I'd like to say, first of all, I'd like to draw the conclusion of what we did the last 3 sessions on the basis of Arya Nagarjuna's the word of salutation to the Buddha Shakyamuni in his text Mūlamadhyamakakārikā, which if the Sunny can, if you can share from the, maybe perhaps from the Blaze of Non-Dual Buddhism, the book that we use right now, page number 3 or 4, book page 3 or 4, not 3 or 4, 3 or 4, 3, let's say 3. Okay, so then we have to go more, perhaps let's say 13, page 13. Okay, so what is the page number here? Next page. Okay, this is, okay, go back, continue more. No, what I'm saying is, no, let's go to the page number on the page, not the computer page. On the page, page 3 or 4. Keep going, more. Keep going. I think still more.
The introduction is in Roman numerics. You need to go down to the real page 4 after that.
Yes, real page. Real page 3. Okay. You have overshot. Before that, still before. Okay, good. What's the page? No. Just stop. Okay, now go slowly up. Yes, keep going. This is page 3, I think. Page 3, we go to page 4 now. Page, okay, good. This is what I'm looking for. Good, thank you. No, just stay there. Independent origination. Yes, this is the verse. So this is a verse of salutation by Arya Nagarjuna to the Buddha Shakyamuni. In his text, the Mūlamadhyamakakārikā, or the fundamental wisdom of the middle way. And this is the summary of the whole text. This is a summary. And the intervention, this is Tenjin Kangi Tenji Deorjun, Kaba Meba, Kemeba, Chemba Meba, Tameba, Wameba, Tomeba. Tade Tumi Tunjime, Tuba Nishi Shineba, Zoma Sanyamanabga, Tamba de la Chasu. This is the Tibetan version. And we say this every time. So people recite this every day. So if you know the meaning, once you know the meaning, I'm going to explain this on the basis of what we learned the last 3 sessions. And then once you get some understanding of this, and then we recite this on a daily basis. If you can recite this on a daily basis, that will be very helpful to keep implanting more the imprints in the mind of the wisdom of emptiness and what really constitutes of freedom, liberation, nirvana. And then you share this with other beings out of compassion, bodhicitta. So we see that this is extremely important verse. This is the summary or the synopsis of Arya Nagarjuna's whole text. Now I'm going to explain this here. Okay. What we learned before, that emptiness means the middle way. Sorry, emptiness means dependent origination. And dependent origination means the middle way. And we also cited from Arya Nagarjuna's chapter 18 or chapter 24. We cited from the Arya Nagarjuna's own text how emptiness is the meaning of dependent origination, and how dependent origination is the meaning of the middle way. Therefore, emptiness means the middle way, not nihilism. So with this in mind, that's if you say here, in dependent origination, there's no ceasing. In dependent origination, meaning what is dependent originated, that is the meaning of emptiness. Emptiness meaning empty of objective existence, empty of independent existence. So independently, objectively, there's no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. Okay, this is a extremely important concept, and if you learn this, if you know this, so today is going to be just like an intro, and then later on you have to study more of this to really understand what this verse means, and then you, on a daily basis, recite this, reflect on the meaning, and this will then help you to understand the essence of dependent origin mantra very profoundly. He dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato hyavata tesham chayo nirodha evam vadi mahashramana swa. And also you will sense that Heart Sutra mantra, Tyatha gade gade para gade parasam gade. This mantra will become so, you will feel that is laden with profound meaning. And this will all come about if you understand this meaning so well. So we see that there are 8 kinds of dependent origination indicated, how these 8 phenomena comes into being by dependent origination. 8 are indicated here in four pairs. In 4 pairs, say ceasing and arising, annihilation and permanence, coming and going, separateness and sameness. So these are 8 phenomena indicated here. All exist in dependent origination, but objectively they're all empty. And if you look at things, we see that the world is operating, the whole universe is operating on a basis of, say, the first two, the phenomena, ceasing and arising. This whole universe operates on the basis of these two principles, ceasing and arising. For example, let's say that 2022 ceased and 2023 arose out of that. Now, say with the September of 2023, 2024 will come into existence, and 2023 will come to an end, ceasing and arising. Say the Alexander the Great ceased. All the past events, they ceased, and our youth ceased. So we see that things cease and things arise. So the many kingdoms, they ceased and democracy arose. So we see that the whole world is operating on this basis of this. For example, according to physics, let's say that the Big Bang, okay, it came into existence and it stopped. Now the expansion of the universe is happening. A rising of the expansion of the universe is happening. All what we see in the universe, they arose by the ceasing of the initial explosion of the Big Bang. So arising, ceasing, this is what we see. And for example, let's say somebody passed away, we feel so sad. Oh, a child is born, people celebrate. So arising, ceasing. And we see that, say, the bad news arise is very sad. Good news arise is so good. And so the point is that we see that whole our existence is on the basis of arising and ceasing. The whole universe is operating on the basis of ceasing and arising. Impermanence is possible only with the ceasing and arising. So we see that the whole universe operating on this, and we see the ceasing and arising, these two phenomena which govern the whole universe, operation of the whole universe. We see these two things as objectively real. When we see these two things objectively real, wherever we look around, we see the new things are arising, all things are passing away, what happened, and we see them so objectively real. On that basis, our emotions are stirred, saying the dream is real, ceasing and arising in the dream is real, then emotions are stirred, sadness, agitation, anger, craving, jealousy, fear, all these things arise because of seeing these two phenomena as objectively real. So, ceasing, arising. Annihilation and permanence. When let's say the good things happen, we want that to be permanently there. And the bad things there, we want them to annihilate altogether, completely. They should annihilate. This is what we see. Whereas when bad things, when something annihilates, bad things annihilate, you feel so happy. But we see the annihilation as objectively real. Then we stir into excitement. And good things annihilate. We think. So this is slightly different. Ceasing and arising and annihilation, permanence. Where ceasing and arising is cause and effect. Whereas annihilation, permanence is our craving for things. Some they say what is good thing should be permanent. What a bad thing should annihilate completely. Again, on this basis, we see that when the bad things become permanent, there's so much of sadness, agitation. When the good things become annihilate, when the good things annihilate, there's so much of sadness there. So again, we see that our emotions are stirred. Our emotions are stirred on the basis of seeing the annihilation, permanence as objectively real. Coming and going. Same, COVID came, so much of fear and anxiety, stress, and lockdown and the whole, say the education-wise, education of the children suffered so much. Education universities suffered. And economically, trillions and trillions of dollars of the whole world collapsed because of the coming of the COVID. Now the COVID subsides, COVID, say the goes away. COVID goes away. We see that, okay, now we can go around. We can meet family members, friends. The school children can go to school. The education, all these things come back. So they're coming, going. When when good people come, you're so happy. Again, seeing the coming of the good people as objective real, there's tremendous excitement. And going away of the good people, you feel sad. Small children, when they see that they're going to be separated from their parents leaving for some official work or whatever, seeing them as so objective real, as so much of pain. And then the bad things come, so much of sadness, anger. Bad things go away, so much excitement. Again, we see that our emotions stirred by the phenomenon of coming and going, seen as objective real. And separateness and sameness. Same, look at the world, how the world operates. Some countries, we say that, oh, this land is our land. We and this land is, we two are one. We are same, right? So because of which all these border tensions are happening. All the border tensions are happening because of, some countries so selfish, so aggressive, just craving to own this land, that land, so forth. So much border tension happening because of the crave for the oneness. We are one, we are one. And whereas some say, no, we are different, we are different. Craving to be different. So Tibetans will say, Tibetans are Chinese, we are not one, we are different, right? And then protests and so forth. And CCP saying, no, we are one, right? And they say that we will be kind to you. And one day they will say, the whole world, we will be kind to you. America is one with us. They will say that one day. So craving for, these are the emotions. The greed, anger. When separation is seen, there's so much anger there. And for some, when the unification is happening, this is not good. There's so much of, frustration there. But separation, okay, we can now live in peace, separate. So look, whole world on the global level, on the individual level, on the family level, say in the past in Asia, there is the joint family system. We are all one family, we are one. And whereas in the Europe, in the West, it's the nuclear family. No. Once you are plus 17, 18, you have to go separate. Don't come, you are separate. So they crave to be separate. Some crave to be together, right? Together, there's a problem, there's a strength. Nuclear family, there's a problem, there's a strength. But when you see them as objectively real, as we should be together, objectively real is together, same, then all the emotions are stirred. We should be different, seen as objectively real, again, emotions are stirred. And even within the nuclear family, husband and wife, divorce, meaning that we should be separate, we should not be one. And some say, no, we should be together. Whole world is into chaos because of seeing these 8 phenomena as objectively real. Just imagine, if you see them, if the whole world is seen as like a dream, that they're all coming from your mind, the ceasing and arising, which govern the whole universe. When you see them as like dream, like illusion, you will see the whole universe as illusion. This is how you wake up from the sleep of ignorance. In the sleep, you have dreams, so much of fear, seeing things as coming, ceasing, arising, annihilation, permanence, coming, going, separate, oneness, as object real, and so much of fear, tension, anxiety, excitement, craving, greed, fear, so forth. You wake up, nothing in that dream can affect you anymore. This is a real freedom. So if you see the whole universe like a dream that all coming from our mind, you cease to be affected by the external world. That is a real freedom. So independent origination, these 8 phenomena which exist in the domain of the dependent origination, objectively, they're all empty. They're all like dream. Failing to see them as like a dream, you are trapped in the prison of one's own mind and being stirred into emotions, ups and downs of lives, into emotions of anger, greed, and so forth. So much of fear. Whereas you see the reality as it is. This is the meaning of you waking up from the sleep of ignorance. It's for this reason that the Buddha Shakyamuni is revered as the fully awakened one. You have to wake up from the sleep of ignorance. For the reason the Buddha is revered as the fully awakened one, the Buddha, the awakened one. So, wow, that's amazing. This is, say, at times, people, when we go through difficult times for family issues, or at the workplace, whatever we go through, very difficult times, some people, they become so desperate, they just feel like leaving everything behind. And some people, they even go to the extreme of committing suicide. I don't see any purpose in living anymore. So much of stress, anxiety, and so forth. But if they learn this secret, that the reality that we live in, this is not, they don't have the capacity to affect you. You can manage this emotion. So instead of having to commit suicide, instead of having to go through desperate means, just wake up from the sleep, the very state which the very state that gives you fear. This very state, otherwise, which gives you failing to see that, failing to see the reality, you project your own reality and believe that is real, which creates so much of fear. See, the reality of this will liberate you. The same phenomena, failing to see in its proper way, it traps you. Seeing them in the real form liberates you. Wow, you don't have to commit suicide. In fact, you don't even have to go for antidepressants. Just wake up from the sleep of ignorance. Of course, it's not that easy. Wake up, and the same situation will liberate you rather than trapping you in the fears of samsara. Okay, so it says that independent origination. Oh, what happened? I want the text. Thank you. Independent origination, as opposed to the reality of no ceasing, no arising, meaning no objective ceasing, no objective arising, no objective annihilation, no objective permanence, no objective coming, no objective going, no objective separateness, no objective sameness. As opposed to that, when you view these 8 phenomena as objective real, then you are trapped in the dream of samsara, and you are stirred in the emotions of excitement and the turbulence, the turbulent wave of fear, anxiety, stress, and so forth. Discover the reality, the way the Buddha presented. Independent origination, there's no ceasing. There's no objective ceasing. It's all subjective ceasing. No arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. Oh, wow, that's amazing. If all these, say, the mental stress arise from mental stress, sadness, pains, you subject them to ultimate analysis, the way, in the manner in which we subjected the flower to ultimate analysis, the flower dissolves. You subject all these 8 phenomena into ultimate analysis, they dissolve. You subject your sorrow into ultimate analysis, they dissolve. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace. The four seals the 4 seals which we read. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are suffering nature. Everything is the nature of emptiness, selflessness. If you know this, that everything is nature of emptiness, selflessness, nothing objectively there, this is the meaning of you waking up. You wake up, all your sorrow dissolves. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace. Okay. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace where all your sorrow, anxiety, stress, they all dissolve by waking up from the sleep of ignorance. This peace is amazing. This ultimate peace, where you are just liberated from all the ensnarements, which is freed of elaborations for your own mental projections. What your mind projects, the dream. You wake up, all body projecting the dream stops, and they stop to affect you, and you're liberated, which is freed of elaborations. Who taught this? This taught by the consummate Buddha. So this Buddha, this teacher, is referred to as the supreme among all teachers. Why supreme? Because he's the one who taught you what you exactly want, what you ultimately want. Ultimately what I want is, I want to be liberated from all the entanglements with the mental fear, stress, and so forth. And this is through the understanding of the emptiness of objective existence. And this is for the first time in on this planet Earth, for humanity, Prince Siddhartha, becoming Buddha, after becoming Buddha, he taught this. So therefore, what I want is, I want the ultimate freedom. And for example, when somebody becomes stressed, you take when you become depressed, go deep into depression, you take antidepressants. Antidepressants, they are just temporary solution. They numb you. They numb your cognitive ability. They numb your affective faculties within your mind, ability to empathize others, ability to feel others' pains, ability to feel compassion, ability to feel the joy. These antidepressants, they numb everything. Whereas seeing this emptiness will numb your negative emotions, but will activate your virtuous minds. It's amazing. So this is what you want. You want this. You want to activate your virtuous mind. You want to activate your joy. And you want to numb your, the stress, mental depression, anxiety, and so forth, the fears. So the fears are all eradicated and your joys are multiplied. So this is what everybody ultimately wants. And whoever taught this is supreme of all the teachers. Therefore, who taught this on the planet Earth? For the first time on this planet Earth, it was Buddha Shakyamuni who taught this. So it said, I prostrate to the consummate Buddha. Consummate Buddha meaning the one who is perfected in the quality of being freed from all the fears and having expanded one's happiness to the infinity. So this teacher is the supreme of all the teachers, because he's the one who taught what everyone ultimately wants. The one who taught this peace, which is afraid of elaborations. Okay, so here when we say the one who taught this peace, when you recite this, one who taught this peace, just think of the emptiness where subjecting your sorrows into ultimate analysis, they all dissolve, like subjecting this flower to ultimate analysis, the flower dissolves. So we will do a quick meditation on emptiness together on the basis of 5 points, which I'd like to share with you later. So when subjecting the flower to ultimate analysis, the flower dissolves. Subjecting your miseries to ultimate analysis, the miseries dissolve. And if you can retain this experience of the emptiness where the miseries dissolve, your mind will feel the upliftment. You will feel the lightness of your mind. This lightness is so profound. All this disturbance stops. What's the opposite of disturbance? Absolute peace comes to your mind. So that experience of the emptiness where all your sorrow dissolves, and aspiring to attain that is known as renunciation. This is the ultimate meaning of renunciation. So in a course, in a cursory form, we talk about, okay, I like to renounce the samsara. That's very gross understanding of renunciation. The final understanding of renunciation is, may I may I experience this emptiness of objective existence, where all my sorrows dissolve. About this experience where no sorrow, no external factors can affect me anymore. See all of them as coming from a mind, nothing really from the object. They are from the object. These are all empty. Stay in this experience, and your mind, all the disturbance subside. Disturbance subside, the peace, extremely profound tranquility, serenity dawns within you. Okay. So when we say the one who's taught this peace, you just have to meditate on the emptiness. Emptiness where, and then see, when you feel like, of course, it's not just imagine you have the emptiness. You have to get the emptiness, experience the emptiness yourself. Once you get it, then just stay in this experience of the emptiness, and meanwhile, observe your mind, what your mind is doing. Just observe what your mind is doing. You see that mental turbulence subsides, agitation subsides. You can feel the extremely profound, the peace, extremely profound silence of the disturbance. Of all the disturbance of silence, the mind becomes so serene and peaceful. And you say, wow, that's amazing. I don't have to imagine the peace. I don't have to imagine the joy. Simply by meditating on this experience of emptiness, just get this emptiness, feel that, and the mind automatically, physiologically, all this disturbance subsides. Okay, that's amazing, so precious. Once you get a glimpse of this, then you'll realize, so now, finally, I can breathe, sighing with relief. Take a fresh breath of life, sighing with relief. Where now I know what the life is, what is the purpose of life. Now this is the purpose of life, to get the wisdom of emptiness and let all this disturbance subside on their own. You don't have to do anything, and the fearlessness dawns in you. And then if you are able to complement this wisdom of emptiness by the bodhicitta, then this wisdom will expand to feel the infinite joy. That's amazing, so precious. It's for this reason that His Holiness the Dalai Lama very often nowadays, during all his teachings, at the end of the teaching, he would always tell the people that if you really feel that you are my student, you should do two things: practice bodhicitta and practice wisdom of emptiness. This is the meaning. He could feel that within himself. He wants people to feel that. He wants to share this with other people. This will happen only through learning, reflecting, and meditating on the wisdom of emptiness. Likewise, reflecting, studying, reflecting, meditating on the bodhicitta. So this is the way and the manner in which we get this whole purpose of Mūlamadhyamakakārikā, fundamental wisdom of the middle, study of the fundamental wisdom of the middle. Whole purpose. This is the whole purpose. And this verse is the essence of the Arya Nagarjuna's teachings and the essence of the Buddha's teachings. The Buddha who taught Heart Sutra. Heart Sutra means the essence of the sutra, essence of the Professional Wisdom Sutra. A Buddha taught the Professional Wisdom, say the 84,000 of teachings were given, and of these Heart Sutra is the essence, the heart. And from there, this is what Arya Nagarjuna, they say the extracted the essence, quintessence of this Heart Sutra in the form of this these two verses as a word of salutation to the Buddha, saying that this is what you have taught, and this is what can liberate all of us if you get this experience. Okay. So along with this, given that we have two aspirations. One is to get away from all the fears of life, and the other to expand on the circle of happiness, joy, infinite happiness. So and if I ask you, and who is that person who likes to have the who likes to have the misery 0 and happiness infinite. Everybody, everyone, no difference between on the basis of the gender, no difference on the basis of the nationality or religion or the high, low, educated, rich, poor. It is everyone seeks to achieve these two goals. And the wisdom of emptiness, primarily it will say the initial, I would say, what we said is that we have the Buddha energy within us. We have the seed for fearlessness. We have the seed for infinite happiness. And the seed of fear, the fearlessness, is being obscured by the afflictive obscurations. And the seed of infinite happiness that we have, this is obscured by the cognitive obscurations. And in both cases, the remedy lies in the wisdom of emptiness. This is the only remedy. This is the only remedy. This is referred to as the liberating path. While the Buddha taught so many versions of the paths, but of all, the wisdom of emptiness is the liberating path. Meanwhile, we shouldn't forget that if there's a poisonous tree there, we have two huge poisonous trees, one way bigger and one smaller. The smaller one is afflictive obscurations, and the bigger one is the cognitive obscurations. And the afflictive obscurations stop us from attaining, say, the fearlessness, freedom from miseries, technically referred to as nirvana. And the bigger one stops us from attaining the infinite happiness, technically referred to as Buddhahood. So how to remove these two? We have to cut these two. What will cut? Only the X. We need a very sharp X. What is that sharp X? The wisdom of emptiness. Even if you have the sharp X there, but if the person does not have the enthusiasm, if the enthusiasm is so weak, then the person may cut the smaller tree and not the big poisonous tree. So somebody does not having any enthusiasm, that person will keep the eggs lying there without any use. So two trees will continue to grow, continue to obscure them, continue to stop your they stop experiencing nirvana and stop experiencing Buddhahood. So the little enthusiasm comes, enthusiasm of the renunciation. I want to free from suffering. What about sentient beings? Okay, that I'm not too sure, but I must be liberated. If this is enthusiasm, you can use this X of the wisdom of emptiness to cut the poisonous tree of the afflictive obscurations. So your afflictions are gone, your fears are gone, fears of samsara are gone, and the stress, anxiety, all are gone, mental disturbance all gone, but your joy is not expansive. And you also want expansive joy. Yes, I want it. If you want it, you have to clear. It is like the same. It is like say a light, say a bulb. The bulb, the light bulb, illuminated light bulb. So this light bulb, so the light from this bulb, the nature is that if the light flows, this light from the bulb flows every direction effortlessly. But if this light, you cover that with the vase, with the vase, then the light is trapped within. It cannot get out of the vase, clay vase. And the vase is inside a room without windows and doors, and the door locked without windows. So this light inside is trapped by two. One by the vase, one by this small shed or the small house, a small house without the windows and the door locked. So when you break this vase, the light will flow inside the hall, inside this small house, but not outside. So this light removing the afflictive obscurations, and still you have the cognitive obscurations. So you are now freed from this small vase, but you are not freed from, you don't feel the infinity because you are still blocked by the small room, small house. If you break this house completely, then the light inside will flow so freely, not being affected by anything else. Likewise, the light inside us is blocked by the small vase and the bigger space like a house. So small vase inside, and the bigger house, small vase, this is like the afflictive obscurations. You break this, and then it expands, and your mental disturbance stops, but it does not, the light inside cannot flow freely. You cannot feel the infinite joy, infinite ease. Now you remove you break this house completely, then the light inside will flow freely. This is infinite ease, no obstruction at all. This is known as, say, the infinite happiness or Buddhahood. That is your true nature manifested. Okay, so for this, we need to remove these two things, the small vase and the bigger house. Likewise, the smaller tree and the bigger tree, and of course, which require more enthusiasm to break the smaller vase or the bigger house. Of course, to break the bigger house requires some more enthusiasm. Okay, and the okay, Kaya Tinjuduma is there with us. Kaya Tinjuduma, raise hand. Wow, thank you. Okay, Kaya Tinjuduma from Oregon. Wow, she's a very smart girl. She asked me very complicated questions. What is Buddha? So how do we know whether the Buddha exists? First question. Second question, if the Buddha exists, what is Buddha? The second question. And then I said, the being with the three qualities. What is quality? I said, attribute. What is attribute? Wow, very precise. He does not beat around the bush. That's amazing, extremely precise. And I explained what an attribute is. He instantly understood it. That's amazing. Oh, Kaya, this is Ramala. Thank you for being with us here. Okay, so so with this, what I'm saying is that the now it is the same axe which is required to cut the two trees. But to cut the trees, we need the enthusiasm. If you don't have the enthusiasm, just by having the axe will not go and cut. There should be the enthusiasm of the person to pick this up and then cut. And depending on the degree of the enthusiasm, say the enthusiasm is not too great, meaning that, oh, I want to cut this poisonous tree, or I want to liberate myself, not others. Enthusiasm very small. So with this small enthusiasm, I want to liberate myself. Others, okay, liberate good, but then I must liberate myself. If this is enthusiasm, is very small enthusiasm, this is known as renunciation. If this wisdom of emptiness is complemented by the mere renunciation without bodhicitta, the small enthusiasm, then this wisdom of emptiness will remove the afflictive obscurations. Whereas you think about your two parents, your family members, your children, and all the other sentient beings, when you think of them, I must work for all these sentient beings. Then the enthusiasm is incredibly great. I must become enlightened for the benefit of all sentient beings. That is the bodhicitta enthusiasm. So with the bodhicitta enthusiasm, when you use the wisdom of emptiness to cut, you will cut not only the small tree, you will also easily cut the big tree. So that is when the poisonous trees are gone rid of, or the obscurations, the vase-like afflictive obscurations and the house-like cognitive obscurations, they are eradicated. Once that these are eradicated, your true nature, the true nature of who you really are, that manifests infinitely, where there's no disturbance and freely flows everywhere infinitely. You have no fear, and you have the infinite happiness. This is ultimate goal. For that, they say particularly being connected with the Mahayana teachings, teaching on, the bodhicitta, We are very fortunate, extremely fortunate. And for this, not only the wisdom of emptiness, the Mahayana teaches marked by the two wings of the bird. One wing, the wing of the wisdom of emptiness, and the other, the wing of the bodhicitta, wing of the incredible enthusiasm, incredible compassion, which His Holiness the Dalai Lama demonstrates. And Lama Subramaniya demonstrated. So these two, these two wings are required for the bodhisattva to cruise the ocean of samsara and reach to the ultimate state of enlightenment. So for this, I'd like to quickly share a little bit about the bodhicitta. And this in beautiful practice, amazing. And when you speak about bodhicitta, you may feel that, oh, I'm doing something for others. No, this is the wisest thing that you can do for yourself. This is the most meaningful thing, the wisest thing that you can do for yourself. This is amazing. And anybody who does this is a really, truly wise person. So for that, say this bodhicitta is the mind which expands, which feels the same love. The love the mother feels towards a child. The mother feels towards a child. You feel the same towards all the beings. Okay, how to cultivate this? Is it possible in the first place? Answer is yes, it is possible. How? How is it possible? If yes, how to cultivate it? This question. This is extremely important. For this, let's say that you are building a house. You are building a house of the bodhicitta. You're building a house of the bodhicitta. There, what we need, and the place where you are, you are to build a house, the bodhicitta house, is such that there are so many what the bushes there, the bush grown there, and wild vegetation is grown there, and the boulders are there. You cannot really build a house directly. So two things required. One, you have to clear the land. Clear the land of the unwanted things. Then number two is that bring what is wanted, like say the bricks, the steel, then the rafters, cement, sand. So clear the land of the unwanted things and bring the wanted things. Conducive, clear the non-conducive factors and bring the conducive factors. We have to do two things to build the house of the bodhicitta. What is the unwanted thing? What are the unwanted things which we have to clear in order to cultivate the bodhicitta, in order to build the bodhicitta house? Is that, tell me, bodhicitta is very simple. Bodhicitta is what embraces everyone. And you won't believe. His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the people who are, so unwise, they did not really know His Holiness the Dalai Lama. If you know His Holiness the Dalai Lama, then we see that whatever he does is like how the very loving mother does to the children. You'll see that. For example, I remember, say, once it was, I think, in El Salvador. There was many years ago when I was accompanying His Holiness as his translator. And what happened was that I think one of the ministers there, he hosted His Holiness for lunch with all the entourage members of His Holiness, and on a very grand formal setting, and all the chef and the waiters, waitresses, they were all standing there, and then the food was served. His Holiness, the minister, and then all the ministers, the people entourage, and His Holiness entourage members, we were all there, and the meal was done. Once done, the minister requested His Holiness, can we take a group photo with His Holiness? And His Holiness, yes. And His Holiness said, come. And then as a part of the protocol, all the chef and the waiters, waitresses, They were all just standing there, surrounding us. There's, look, these are the things, those people who just so being so insensitive, you know, created so much chaos, so much of the hurt in the humanity created. These people should hear this. Then the minister was next to His Holiness, and then all the entourage members of the minister, His Holiness, they were all around. And then the chef and the waitresses, they were all waiting. They're all just standing there. And then look, His Holiness said, "What are you doing? You come." And they dare not come because there's a protocol that they should not be mixed with the guest. And this is a high-level guest, very, very deep VVIP guest. And they were still standing there. He said, "No, what are you doing? We're taking a group photograph. Come." He knows he's very smart. He says that we are all equal. You're getting it? Who will say we are all equal? On that level, they, for the first time, they are seeing that such a VVIP is including us in his group. This is the first time that they're experiencing. Never experienced before. And these people who put such a false allegation against His Holiness, they should hear this. They should hear this. So still they were, you know, some of them started to come, and some of them, they were, you know, a little scared. We are breaking the protocol. Then he was, but His Holiness was saying, "Hey, you come here. And then there was one lady who was so, you know, like little scared. And he said, "Hey, what are you doing? You come." And particularly the one who is showing a little bit of fear, His Holiness grabbed her and put her next to His Holiness, and the minister was pushed aside, and His Holiness was stretching his arms around all these cooks and the waiters and waitresses. And this lady was literally crying, feeling this love and affection from somebody who she never expected, and who broke this protocol out of love and affection, out of the feeling this oneness of the humanity. No high, low, we are all same. And this is what all these people should hear, all these media people, and all these people who did not really have the opportunity to see His Holiness closely. They should hear this. Then you'll realize whatever he does is purely out of mother's, you know, the fondness, mother's joy, mother's, say, the playfulness, you know. Only then you'll realize this is. So therefore, the Bodhicitta practice is extremely beautiful, and ordinary people, they cannot really understand it because they never heard about these teachings. It's all about individualism, you know, I, all the time. This is a problem. So therefore, the point is that the answer is yes, we can have this universal compassion towards all the beings. This is very possible. This is one. The next is that what are the non-conducive factors and what are the conducive factors if you are to cultivate this? And if you do feel it, even a glimpse of this bodhicitta, you will feel the feeling of the child sent to a boarding school, and always wanting to meet the mother, and separate from the mother for like 6 months. And suddenly this little child, age 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, meets the mother. The child could literally feel that every atom of every cell of the child's body will feel the relaxation, will feel the ease when you see the mother. This is the kind of feeling which you take any pill, you will never feel that. Drugs will never create this experience. Never. It's only through this practice that you'll feel that. To think of any other sentient being, you'll feel this tremendous feeling of the joy, very profound joy. And if somebody is to take a pill and feel this, even if all the billionaires would buy this pill, they never experience that. With the billions of dollars, trillions of dollars, they never experience that. So this is what we'll experience only when we practice this. Only when you are being with this person very closely. Then you realize whatever the person does is for my benefit, nothing at all for the person himself or herself. Okay, so for this, what are the non-conscious factors which can hamper you from feeling that, I say, the universal compassion? Ego and anger. Ego and anger. We have to clear this, ego and anger. And how to clear the ego and anger? On the gross level and on subtle level. The gross level, we have to put effort. You know, I should not give in to anger. I should not give in to the ego, right? Everyone is equal. By no means I'm superior. Not only just, you know, say the intellectually, but experientially, you try to work on this. That we're all equal. By no means I'm superior, right? So on the gross level, try to get away from anger. And if the anger is too much, if the anger issue is too much, so if you could feel that, okay, now my anger is really on the verge to explode, so you go to your room, try to stop the stimulus. The person who triggered, you know, the triggered meaning, so just seeing that person or the situation, it can trigger the anger. You go to your room and then take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath. Just deep breath. Focus on the breath. And your mind will be pulled from the engrossment to that stimulus, to your breath, and the mind really could feel physiology. Otherwise, earlier, you could feel the heart palpitation and the heavy breathing. So now with this, just focus on the breath. Just take deep breath like 7 times, 10 times, 21 times. You feel that your agitation will subside. Okay. So, and then you do a little bit of other practices. First, just focus on the breath, take deep breath, and this will subside the very gross anger. And of course, they don't easily express physically and verbally your anger, even though your anger is exploding within you, but physically and verbally, don't express it. Rather, try to do this, take this deep breath. And people, some of the psychologists, some of the people, they say, no, you have to express it. If you don't express, it will bottle up within you, and it's not good. So the point is that if you don't know how to tackle it nicely, then it can bottle up, it can explode within, and it may not be good. But you have to learn how to stop this. You learn how to skillfully maneuver this energy inside you, which otherwise this anger can utilize this and make you to explode into, say, the disaster. So say take these measures, and there are many other ways by which to tackle this anger. One is put yourself in the shoes of the others, and this can greatly solve your problem. Once what happened was that there was an elderly man, and I was in my early 40s, and I was in the office, and he bumped into my office, and he had nothing to say. And he said, he thought that he came to know that I was very busy with my office work. Then he said, Geshe, can I come to you every day just for 2 minutes? Just for 2 minutes every day. I said, okay, but his 2 minutes will be 1 hour. I said, okay. And still he's sitting there. And I'm really very busy. And then he says, okay, Geshe will not pay attention to me. He's caught up with his work. Then he said, Geshe, I'll go to my practice, do my meditation in the Lodi garden, which is next to Tibet house. And he said that the Geshe, tell me one word, what should I meditate? I said compassion. Then he left. Just reached the door. Again he came back. Said, Geshe, compassion works so well in Lodi Garden, but it doesn't work in the traffic. So I said, what happened? So he said that in the traffic, people cut you. And then your anger comes, no room for compassion. I said that, okay. So then he said, how to tackle this? So actually he's trying to, draw my attention. And then I said that, okay, what you do is do one thing. So if somebody cuts you, think of that person. Just don't think that he cut me. Instead, this person might have a little girl in school where all the other school children already left, and this girl is left there waiting for her father to come to pick her up, and the father is not coming, and then she's in so much fear. So this the father knows. So the father is deliberately cutting so that he can get there faster. If you can think about this, you will empathize. You put yourself in his shoes, then you will empathize. Then he said, oh, that's very good. Okay, so what I'm saying is that there are so many ways by which to tackle our anger. In fact, anger is an affective thought process, but then this affective thought process is determined by the cognitive thought process. So we have to see the misleading cognitive thought process. We have to transform them, make them positive cognitive, constructive cognitive thought process. So the affective thought process will be very smooth and gentle and embracing. So this is one part. How to tackle the say non-conducive factors of compassion, like anger and ego, and particularly I would say 37 verses of 37 verses of Bodhisattva's practice by Venerable Geshe Thome Sangpo. You must read that. You must practice that. Not only read it, you must keep that. In fact, that is in the book which which is being shared, which Sunny shared. So this book you can download for free. This is the Tibet House copyright. You can download for free, and the 37 practices of the Bodhisattvas. This is included there in this book. This book is very precious. It has so many important texts there. So you can say get a copy, soft copy for yourself from the Sunny. Okay, so there are so many of these techniques given there, and then you practice them, and then the gross anger will subside. Then the next, wisdom of emptiness, to see everything like a dream. This wisdom of emptiness is the most effective way, but it will not work initially because your experience of emptiness is not deep. So once your experience of emptiness is deep, you meditate on this, and the anger instantly subsides. So the wisdom of emptiness will make the anger and ego subside. When the anger and ego subsides, these are the two factors which push others away from you. So because that now the factors to push others away from you stops, it leaves room for you to embrace others. Okay, so this is one thing. Now, after removing the non-conducive factors, then you have to practice the conducive factors. Now the wild vegetation is growing there, the boulders, they were all removed. Now the land has become extremely even, ready for your building the house of the bodhicitta. Now you bring the conducive factors like the cement, the bricks, the steel, all these you bring. So what are these conducive factors? The conducive factors is purely the cognitive exercise. It's a pure cognitive exercise, and then this has the effect of bringing the effective, the cultivation of your mind. Effective meaning your mind embraces movement of the mind. Cognitive is purely the cognitive is the mind, which cognitively says it is yes or no, it's good or bad, but the mind may not move. Movement is the affective, the element of the affective faculty of the mind, this movement. So that is affective. Compassion means your mind moves towards the beings. Anger is the mind moves away from the beings. So these are the affective mental states. And the cognitive mental states, say for example, out of you, some of you may love flower, some of you may not love flower. And if I say, what is this? Those who love flower, those who do not love flower will always say that this is a flower. This is purely cognitive. This is purely cognitive. Now, knowing that this is a flower, I say, how is it this? Beautiful or this not beautiful? Those who love flowers say very beautiful. Those who do not love flowers say so, right? So the answer differs. Where the answer differs, that is the affective. Where the answer is common, that is a cognitive. Okay, so likewise, say the so where we transform the cognitive thought process, then the affective comes along. Affective comes along. So how? Say our job is finding I want to have the total ease. For example, say this is just common sense. Unfortunately, common sense is not so common, right? Yeah, it's not common. So it's very common sense. For example, say you are assigned to work in a company. You are newly being appointed there, and in the company there are 100 people. Of the 100 people, there are the 80 people who are very judgmental of you. Only 20 people, they love you. They really care for you. And this is another company where all the 100 people, they love you, they care for you. Which of the two company you want to work in? Of course, the second one. How many agree with me? Raise hands. Yes, this is common sense. Yes, you're in the second one. But the thing is that so why in the second case? Why you prefer the second one? Because you could feel at home. You don't feel a barrier. Oh, these 80 people they don't like me. So you create barrier. In defense, you create a barrier. With a barrier, you are making your small space very small. Small space is known as prison. Small space known as prison. What is prison? The prison doesn't mean that you should be in you are just put in the what is that, the wire, what is it, barbed wire, you know, so you're bound with, no, you're just in a small cell, and you cannot go beyond this point. So your mind creates this barrier. When you see the 80 people, they don't like me, so in defense you create a space not to go beyond, not to go towards the 80 people. So your space becomes very small. Out of the 100% space, you're able to utilize only 20% because you create a barrier there. So that's a prison. Whereas when you see that all the 100 people, they love you so much, you can freely go around. 100% you are free. There's total freedom there. This is a total ease. So now the point is how to build this to total ease with all the infinite beings. How to build this total ease. Okay. So for this is so important. Let us not underestimate this. And particularly, this is the Shantideva Buddhist Center. Shantideva is so well known for his teaching on universal compassion. Chapter 8 of Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life is an amazing chapter. So the point is that how to build this conducive factors to expand your mind to feel no barrier. How to do that? So for this is purely a cognitive exercise. Just say in your life, you look around the people and see who displays such a love, such intense love, who displays that, and so pure love. Who displays that? And that too so easily visible. Mother and the child. Mother and the child. Mother and the child. This is the mother and the young child, generally speaking, not necessarily for all. For some people, I understand that the mother, having been through a very difficult childhood herself, does not know how to express love and affection towards her own child. It's very unfortunate. It's sad for the mother as well as for the child. But generally speaking, the mother and child, the relation is so beautiful. So this child who was just say age 4 or 5 and feeling extreme love and affection towards the mother. The moment the child is in front of mother, the child feels so free. And the moment the mother is gone, the child feels so fearful. So this child, why the child feels so comfortable in front of the mother? Why? Answer very simple: love. He or she feels this love towards the mother, intense love. The same child, day one the child was born, did she or did he feel the same love towards the mother? Day one the child was born. Answer is no. Day one the child is born. No, she doesn't have any clue that this is my mother, this is not my mother. Of some people, they said no, in the mother's womb, the child senses the vibration, and so there's all 0.00001 connection. You know, this is what they are talking about. Otherwise, anybody picks up the child is fine. Child doesn't feel any difference, to be very honest, right? Only 0.0001 possibly. They are all just you know, something which is something which ordinary people would be amazed. They just try to make it so big. In reality, that's not the case. In fact, I would say guarantee, out of 1,000 babies born in a hospital, no one baby will say that, oh mom, thank you so much for giving birth. No one, 100%, no one. But of these 1,000, minimum 900 small children, after 4 years, after 5 years, the moment they see their mother after separation of 2 months, 3 months, or the 1 week, the moment the mother sees, the child will jump to the mother. This guaranteed. Minimum 900 out of 1,000 will jump to the mother's lap. 100%. This is the reality. My question is, the same child, day one he or she was born, did not display this love and affection towards the mother. After 3 years, 4 years, this child developed such intense love towards the mother. How did it happen? This is my question. Anyone? Very quick, before we wind up. Anyone? How did this small child, day one he or she was born, did not display this intense love? After 4 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years time, this child developed, over the span of time, 4 or 5 years, the child develops intense love towards the mother. What was that mechanism? In other words, how did it happen? This is my question. Anyone, quick.
Familiarization.
Sorry, Sunny?
Familiarization. Making
familiarization. This baby was also familiarized with the neighbor. Oh, he's my neighbor, he's my neighbor, he's my nasty neighbor, familiarized, but no connection, no love and affection. But to his mother, yes. Why? Quick, anyone? Okay.
Because my
Yeah.
mommy, because my
Yeah,
mommy
yeah.
loved me and took such good care of me, and I could feel it.
Okay, so you as a little child, how do you know the mother loves you? Anyone? Quick. You a small child. Oh, your mother plans for your PhD program, right? Your mother is depositing money in the bank for your PhD program. Oh, my mom is so kind. Or what? How does this small child know? How does the child knows that the mother is so kind to you, very caring? How does it know? Very simple. You are hungry? Even though, okay, Michael.
Continued responsiveness and care.
Sorry?
Continued responsiveness and care, attention, awareness.
Continued responsibility of the care. Yes, the mother cares for you so much. Mother is planning for a PhD program. And then after 30 years, mother is making it, planning to think of making you a vice chancellor of university. Wow, my mom is so kind, right? Or, of course, this also the mother being so kind to you, but then you don't feel that. How does small child feel the mother's love? Anyone? Quick. Quick. Carolyn Hansen.
The mother just benefited.
Say you are hungry. The mother.
I don't.
You're hungry. You're hungry. The mother comes to feed you. You're cold. Mother comes to grab you with the blanket or and they you feel like neglected. Mother comes and hug you, right? So in other words, the small child sees the mother as a source of benefit. You're getting it? When you see somebody as a source of, and then yes, the father also benefits you, the mother benefits you, and then your neighbors also benefit you, your school benefit you. But from all these, what the child could most evidently see as a benefit is all coming, okay, in most cases, coming from the mother. So therefore, where the benefit is coming from, your mind moves towards that. Your mind feels close to the benefit. So this is known as, I feel close to my mother. I feel close to my brother. I feel close to my sister. Close, feeling close. This is the warmth. This is compassion. This love. This affection. So the secret of the universal compassion lies in you acknowledging, or you are the thinking, reflecting on the benefit that you get from all the sentient beings. If you can know that you get the maximum benefit from all the beings, particularly the difficult people. All the people, all the beings that exist in the universe, there are three kinds. Near and dear ones, neutral beings, and the difficult people. Near and dear ones, that's fine. This is the very definition. Near and dear ones meaning who benefit you. But the neutral beings and the difficult people, the common people, do not understand that they are benefiting us. Whereas people who are drawn towards more, say, the cognitive thinking, who are wiser, who can see things more in a more nuanced form, more sophisticated form, these people can see how the neutral beings and difficult people, they are of maximum benefit to you. And for sure, you will have question, how the neutral beings, okay. Difficult people, they are very difficult, but the very definition of difficult means those who stop your benefit. This is many of the difficult people. But wise people will see somebody who stops your benefit, somebody who stops the conventional benefit. These are the people who give you the maximum benefit. So for this, we have to learn from Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, Bodhisattva Shantideva's text. This is so important. And if we don't have much time, if you're interested, of course, all the Bodhisattva retreats which I conduct in Root Institute, in Bodh Gaya, in many other places, in France. So all these Bodhisattva retreats there, they reflect on the benefits that we get from the three kinds of beings. They are being greatly highlighted, and particularly the benefit that we get from the difficult people and the neutral beings are greatly highlighted. And benefit that you get from the difficult people and the neutral beings, given that this is something which the ordinary people cannot understand, it cannot digest it. Therefore, the Bodhisattva Shantideva said that this teaching is to be maintained confidential. Because if you express it, people will not digest it. People cannot understand what you're saying. So therefore, they would think that you are somebody who is crazy. So whereas actually you are the wisest person. Okay, so if you're interested in knowing all these more, there are many of the recordings from the Bodhisattva retreats. Bodhisattva retreats usually span between like 7 days to 10 days in the various places. And if you're interested, you can visit my website, bodhiwisdom.org, BODHI, Bodhi Wisdom, WISDOM, wisdom.org. So there we conduct these retreats every now and then, minimum like 2, 3, 4 times a year in different places of the world. And if you're interested, you can join. And we go into detail. So we spend like, say since early morning, we come together, we do the prayers, meditation together, and then we have the breakfast. We have like 4 sessions a day of teachings, meditation, group discussions. All this happen within a single day for like the 7 days to 10 days. Very productive and extremely healing. Okay, so cognitively, we learn how we are getting the benefit. Once we know that all the beings are a source of benefit, cognitively we know that, then your mind feels close towards these beings. Then the affective side of the mind gets activated. Your mind starts to feel closer towards them. And particularly when you see that the most difficult people, they are the greatest source of benefit for us. Then you see that your mind feels closest to the difficult people. Okay, for this to get you a little bit of the understanding, what I mean by that you get benefit from the difficult people. Okay, let's say that how many of you know Muhammad Ali? Raise hands. Muhammad Ali. Raise hands. Okay, anyone? Who is he? Raise hands, quick. Yes, Emmy. Who's he? Who was he?
Okay, yeah. He was a great boxer, but also a great leader of people wanting freedom, of Blacks and Muslims. And
okay, okay, thank you, Abby. So let's say that he's a great boxer, right? There are so many great boxers. So Emmy should have said a legendary boxer. A legendary boxer rather than a great boxer. Some people say he's a boxer, right? It's very boring, right? There are so many boxers. What is there if somebody is a boxer? But he's a legendary boxer. Legendary boxer means somebody who's very special. Okay, if you are a boxer, my question to you, if you are a boxer, what kind of boxer would you like to become? A legendary boxer or an average boxer? Huh? Sneh?
Legendary boxer, Geshe.
Legendary boxer. If you want to become a legendary boxer, never ever take your mother as your coach. If you want to become a legendary boxer, never ever take your mother as a coach. Mother will not give you hard punch. Now mother will give you like this punch. With this punch, you will never learn how to stop the hard punches. So if you want to be a legendary boxer, you must hire a coach, somebody who gives you a hard punch. Only when somebody gives you hard punches, then you will learn how to stop the hard punches. Only then you can expect to become a legendary boxer. So who gives you the hard punches? These are the people who can make you legendary, who can make you Buddha. The difficult people, they give you the hard punches. You learn how to stop these hard punches, and then you become a Buddha, right? And the greatest of the benefit is you becoming Buddha. This is the greatest benefit. Chocolate is nothing. Becoming Buddha is the greatest of the benefit. This only somebody who gives you hard punches will make you one of these, and that is your difficult people. Okay, this is so important. And with this, and if you do this practice on a daily basis, finally what we want is we want the fears to go away. We want to have the maximum happiness. And for this, and then the maximum happiness, the happiness that we get is all very temporary. They're all very trivial. It's not at all profound. Whereas the joy that you get out of this practice of universal compassion is extremely profound. And then you see that this is the wisest thing that I can do on the planet Earth, with my birth, this is the wisest thing that I can do to practice universal compassion so that I can feel this expansiveness, very profound happiness within me. Okay, so I thought of doing the practice on the emptiness. We'll quickly do the practice emptiness. Okay, so quickly do this together, and it's going to be like a guided practice. Then we'll stop here. It's going to be a guided meditation. on the basis of the 4 essentials. On the basis of 4 essentials. Ready? Okay, just follow the instructions and don't try to correlate with what I'm saying now with what you learned before from other books, other sources, other teachers, and so forth. As at the moment, don't try to correlate, just follow the instructions. And if you want to correlate, you can correlate later on, not now. So this time, just focus on, we should know the focus. The focus should be on just following instructions and try to invoke the respective experiences. Okay, visualize all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas in the space in front of us, who are the real inspiration of the wisdom of emptiness and the bodhicitta, particularly the Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and for many of us is like Lama Subarmuche and your own teachers. They're so loving, caring, and embracing. And think of your 2 kind parents, even though for some of you, it must have been a tough time with your parents, and all the family members, and all dear Mother Sunshine is with you. And let us make a commitment, mentally make a commitment, that I will revolutionize my thinking, whereby I engage in those, the thought process which are out of box, in order to really take myself and all the beings through the fearlessness and infinite happiness. Okay, with this mind, let us meditate on the emptiness of the self, yourself. Okay, what are you doing? I'm meditating. What is your body doing? My body is in a meditative posture. And how does this person, who you identified as I, appear to you? That is the essential identifier object negation. Or this I appears, does it appear as like a dream that the mind is creating it, or that is so objectively there? Of course, so objectively there. And this belief is a self-grasping ignorance. So this self, as so objectively real, this is the object of a negation, to be negated to understand emptiness. Okay, how do you know that this self doesn't really exist objectively? Remember what Arya Nagarjuna said. If the mirage were to be water, or not those close by the mirage see water. If this self were to likewise, if this self were to exist objectively, why don't I see this self as I go closer to this object? Okay, now let us go closer to this object. Going closer to this object is technically known as ultimate analysis. Subjecting this self, who identifies I, to this ultimate analysis, we just end up seeing the thin layer of the skin, which is not me. Behind that, the fatty tissues. Behind that, the muscles, cartilages, the heart, the lungs, the spleen, the gallbladder, the whole skeleton. All the solid parts constitute the element earth. And none of the element earth is to be identified as as intrinsically one with as intrinsically as the self. Now the element of water, 4 liters of blood, which is pumped in and out by the heart to different parts of the body. Of course, that is not the self. Element of the fire, 2,500 joules of energy of your body. Of course, body heat, element 5, this is also not me. Element of air, 4.6 liters of air that you breathe in and out through your lungs. Of course, that's not me. Element space, 99.99% of your body is just vacuum. Yes, space is vacuum, but I'm not a vacuum. I'm a solid person. And so this space is also not me. Element consciousness, or your mind. I'm a male or I'm a female. And my consciousness does not have a gender. Gender is posited on the basis of the body. And also that people cannot see my mind, but people can see me. So even this mind, the consciousness is also not me. Okay. So now what are you seeing? Subjecting this self to ultimate analysis, I just see the 6 elements: earth, water, fire, air, space, and consciousness. Okay. Now, which of the 6 elements is to be identified as intrinsically as one, intrinsically as one, or intrinsically as the self? Nothing. None. Okay. If you are sure of this, you got the second essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically one with its parts. Now, if the parts, the 6 elements of the parts, if they are not to be identified as intrinsic one with the self, then see if the self-existent object real, different from these parts, remove the 6 elements, what is that? Nothing is left there, which means that the self is not to be identified as intrinsically different from its parts as well. If you are sure of this, you understood the third essential. Now, with this, given that these are the only two options for the self to exist objectively, both are ruled out means that the self from the object, subjecting the self to ultimate analysis from the object, nowhere the self is to be seen. Self is to be seen to be existent. It's just the self dissolves in the experience. Stay in this experience for a while. This understanding is the fourth essential. Essential understanding pervasion, that anything which is empty of intrinsic being one with and different from its intrinsically different from its parts, entails the emptiness of the objective existence of the object. The self is empty from the object. Okay. Now, where is the, now you have come too close to the object. Where is the self from the object? Nowhere to be seen. Stay in this experience. So what are you seeing this? That the emptiness of self, the objective existence of self dissolves. You see the emptiness of the objective existence of the self. That is the objectivity. That is the ultimate reality of the self. Just stay in this experience of the vacuum where the self dissolves. Emptiness of objective existence of self. Stay in this experience. Okay. This is what is known as the meditative equipoise of the space like emptiness. Now just imagine that you come out of this meditation. The moment you come out of the meditation, your mind switches from the ultimate analysis to the conventional analysis. The moment the mind switches to ultimate conventional analysis, again the self appears. So from this, what you see is that objectively self is empty, but subjectively the self appears. So that it is just a mere appearance like illusion. Stay in this experience that is like illusion. This is known as the post-meditative experience of the illusion like emptiness. Just build this compassion, generous compassion. May I be able to share this wisdom of emptiness, where all my stress and tension dissolves, where I experience the transcendence of sorrow, the ultimate peace. May I be able to share this with all the dear Mother Sentient beings. Okay, good. Please come out of the meditation. Good. Okay. Thank you, Sunny, and thank you, Sheila, and thank you, each and every one of you. We'll stop here with the dedication. Okay, today I will read this dedication myself, and you also read with me. And let us dedicate the 4 sessions of the teaching on emptiness and compassion. Let us dedicate the marriage thus gathered, that His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the true source of joy and happiness on this earth, that he lives long, and that his wishes be fulfilled spontaneously, particularly his wish to see that world is a better world, where all these wars, chaos, border tensions, the violence, everything stops, and that everyone feels absolute peace. And His Holiness's dream of introducing the universal ethics in the modern education system. So where people learn the spirit of dialogue right from the small childhood and never resort to violence. And these people should eventually become the leaders of the world, where all these discrepancies or the conflicts can be resolved on the basis of dialogue, where everyone they hold hands of each other rather than drowning each other down. May this vision of His Holiness come true in the world. May the whole UNO, may all the nations pick up this noble dream of His Holiness into their own education curriculum, where their own citizens will be benefited eventually. And may may all the learning centers, the great learning centers, such as the centers of the different traditions of the Theravada Buddhism, Chinese Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, and particularly the academic, the institutions of the Buddhist teachings like Sera, Devun Ganden, and likewise from the different traditions, Sakya, Kagyu, Nyingma, Gelu, may all thrive in the activities of study, reflection, and meditation of the true teaching of the Buddha, which is the ultimate source of benefit for the whole world and for all the demon sentient beings. And may I personally dedicate merits that's gathered that each one of you, through concerted effort in the practice of wisdom of emptiness and the bodhicitta, may you soon see the dawn of these two, the most beautiful mind of bodhicitta and the most fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness within yourself, that each one of you becomes such a reliable guide to lead all the dear sentient beings to the ultimate happiness. May the teaching of the bodhicitta and the wisdom of emptiness thrive in the minds for all dear sentient beings, present and the future. So with this mind, let us read the verses together. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness good. All powerful Chenrezig Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samadhi too realize things as they are, also I dedicate all these merits in the best way that I may follow the perfect example. I dedicate all these rules of virtue with the dedication praised as the best by all the Buddhas who appeared in 3 times, so that I might perform the noble Bodhisattva's deeds. Chanjo semjo rembo che ma ge ba nam ge gyuro che ge ba nyam ba me ba ya ko ne kondo pe barai shu. May the Supreme Bodhicitta that is not arisen and arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish but increase forevermore. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. To do the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all beings without exception into that enlightened state. I dedicate the merit thus gathered, truest realization that is in the prayers of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the upholding of the Dhamma of teaching and realization. And all lives through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect in the 2 stages. With a wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. May the poor find wealth, those who wake with sorrow find joy. May the fallen find new hope, constant happiness, prosperity. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from all their illness, and may every disease in the world never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting one another. By the merits I've accumulated, may every single being abandon all forms of wrongdoing and perpetually engage in virtue. May they never be parted from the mind of bodhicitta. May they always engage in the bodhisattva's conduct. May they be cared for by the Buddhas and relinquish the actions of devils. May no living creatures ever suffer, commit wrong, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled, or the minds ever be depressed. May all the pains of living creatures ripen solely upon myself, and through the might of the Bodhisattva Sangha, may all beings experience happiness. Having dispelled all the inner and outer obstacles and downfalls, such as poverty, despair, oppression, cruelty, epidemics, and natural disasters, environmental degradation, may all beings forever enjoy the glory of peace and happiness. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice virtues all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. By the power of practicing, supplicating to you, may all be free from sickness, poverty, and conflicts. May Dhamma and auspiciousness proliferate in all the places where we abide. The power of unity and emptiness compassion is explained by the perturbed Bodhi Dhamma and the beings land of snows. You are the lotus holder Tenzin Gyatso. We supplicate you that your wishes are fulfilled spontaneously. May the operations of the evil thoughts and deeds of the negative forces of humans and non-humans who harbor malice through perverted prayers against the teachings of Buddhas be totally vanquished through the power of the truth of the 3 jewels. By the dependent realization of the profound substance of appearance and emptiness, together with the force of great compassion of the 3 jewels and the power of the truth, and through the virtue of the infallible law of karmas and the fruits, may this fruitful truthful prayer of ours be unhindered and quickly fulfilled. May the teachings of this beneficent one till world's end be unshaken by the winds of evil thoughts. May it always be met by innumerable beings who find conviction in the teacher by understanding the teaching's true nature. May I never falter even for an instant to uphold the excellent way of the sage, which illuminates the principle of dependent origination through all my births, never even giving away my body and life. May I spend day and night carefully reflecting by what means can I enhance this teaching achieved by the Supreme Savior through strenuous efforts over countless aeons. In all my lives, never separate from perfect gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of the sages of the paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajratara. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by Arya and Geshe and be able to uphold the Dharma in general and the teachings of dependent origination in particular, even across my life. Yata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhi Swatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gate Bodhi Swatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Okay, thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Please come back and teach us again.
Thank you,
Thank you
Geshe.
so much, Geshe-la.
Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you, all of you.
Geshe-la.
Okay, thank you, Kaya. Thank you. Kaya Tisrumla. Kaya Tisrumla. Thank you. Okay, all of you, thank you. Have a good day, all of you.
Please come back soon, Geshe-la.
Sure. Thank you. Sure. Yes.
Bye, everyone. Bye,
Bye.
Sunny. Thank you.
Bye, thank you.